Yes. Yeah.
Good morning to all of you. After a long time, we are meeting again. Today, we are going to discuss what is conclusion. What is the role of conclusion in our life? We have already seen what is enlightenment and what is liberation. The enlightenment itself is a conclusion. The conclusion that we don't have any work within the emotions of our mind. The emotions come and go on its own, and we need not regulate any of our emotions. If we do not interfere with the functioning of our emotions, all emotions come and go on its own, and it gets liberated. So for which we have come to a conclusion that we have any work with related to our emotions. This is a kind of conclusion. But this conclusion is enough if it is related to our psychological matters, psychological functioning of our mind. But when we face the external situation, the external world, we are facing many aspects of our life. And when we face the situation may be a problematic one. And in that situation, also, we have to come to a conclusion. So we have to attend to the work. There is no doubt about it. But at the same time, if you do not arrive to a correct conclusion, our emotions will be giving us unnecessary torture. So here also, for a correct response to the situation, we have to come to a conclusion. So whatever may be the situation, we have to take it in a positive way. So every situation may have a positive and negative ways. And we have to deal with the situation in a positive way. And we have to come to a positive conclusion. If you are able to come to a positive conclusion, then only some necessary and suitable reactions will be coming. Otherwise, unnecessary reaction will be there. So we need not worry about the unnecessary reactions, and we have to fight with the unnecessary reactions. So here, the external world is concerned, we have to have some conclusions. For example, we are engaged in a business, for a private business. We do not know the details of the business. There may be many problem in the business, many aspects. We do not know, or we are not aware of many aspects of our business. And naturally, some threatening emotions, some threatening thoughts may be arising. It will be like that, it may not be like that. So in this way, we are uncertain about the future of the business. The future, the business, the result, the future of the business may be in a threatening way. So if you are not certain with the future of the business, it may have a threatening message, threatening thought, and the threatening thought creates some anxiety and unnecessary tension, fear. So in that fear, our action will be somewhat difficult. So we cannot respond properly. So if we have some good emotions, it will be helpful to deal with the business with enthusiasm. Otherwise, some problem may be there in facing the situations. So we have to have a proper conclusion in each and every situation. The situation may be various. The situation need not be similar in all the time. It may vary from time to time. So that according to the situation, but we have to find a suitable conclusion to face the situation. So psychological world is concerned, psychological emotions are concerned, we have no business. It is natural. We need not create a suitable emotion, a perfect emotion for each and every moment. So everybody is interested to have a peace of mind, a calm mind, and so in this way, for the time being, we may create some good emotions within ourselves with some practice or other thing. But here we cannot keep any emotion permanently. So whatever thing may happen, everything will disappear in course of time. We cannot keep hold of with any emotion forever. So that is the nature of our mind. So in the psychological aspect is concerned, we have to understand, we have to come to a conclusion that we have no work to regulate our emotions. We need not catch hold of any emotion forever. So this is the only one conclusion with related to the psychological emotions. But at the same time, facing the external world is concerned, the conclusion may vary according to the situation. So we have to find out a suitable conclusion with related to the situation. Some situation may be problematic, some situation may not be problematic. If the situation may not be, it is not the problematic one, we need not worry about the conclusion. Everything will be okay. But sometimes the situation may be problematic. For example, presently, the corona is a problem, it's a threatening problem throughout the world. So every situation we need some conclusion. So if the conclusion if you take the conclusion in a positive way, it helps to deal with the situation and everything. So here we have to, deal with the situations, and we have to discuss around with related to the situation and related to the conclusions. And everybody may try to contribute something. What kind of conclusion is needed in facing the situations? If you have any idea, you may share. and afterwards we can discuss. Lenny? You have any health problem?
No.
Okay.
I will try.
No, you may try to translate in your own language what I have told.
בוקר טוב לכולם, שבוע טוב. שיר בגבת חזר פה בעצם על המסר העיקרי שלו, שהרע היא ההבנה שאין לנו עבודה לעשות בעולם הפנימי. זה כשלעצמו הוא סוג של מסקנה שהגענו אליה אחרי חקירה ושקילת כל האפשרויות, ואנחנו מגיעים למסקנה הזאת שבעצם ההתערבות שלנו ברגשות שלנו, ניסיון ליצור אקלים רגשי מסוים בתוך הנפש שלנו היא מזיקה והרסנית. וזה לגבי העולם הפנימי. לגבי העולם החיצוני, אנחנו לפעמים מוצאים את עצמנו בסיטואציות שאנחנו חייבים לתת מענה. ושרי בגבת אומר שהמענה הזה צריך להיות מענה חיובי, מענה פרודוקטיבי. והוא מזמין אותנו להגיב ולחלוק את המסקנות שלנו לגבי איך אנחנו אמורים ואיזה, מה הם ה-guidelines כשאנחנו עומדים מול סיטואציות בעייתיות בחיים, ואנחנו צריכים להגיב אליהן. איזה מסקנות אנחנו צריכים שיהיו לנו לגבי הסיטואציה, אם יש לנו איזשהו רעיון בנוגע לזה. איך לגשת לבעיות חיצוניות בחיים שלנו. That's it, Shri Bagavath.
Okay.
We cannot see you. Now it's
I'll open there. Have you narrated the brief introduction?
Yes.
Okay. And you can invite the other members to share the idea.
I did. I invited them. אז כל מי שרוצה יכול לדבר.
Can I say something?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First of all, you have to investigate the situation.
Okay.
You have to learn all the facts. And maybe you can read about it, you can ask some others, you can contribute to the conversation. And after you know all the facts, sometimes the conclusion is that there is no solution. It's also a solution, that there's nothing you can do about it. There are many situations in our life that there is no solution. This is also a kind of a solution. That's what I think.
Okay, nice.
Thank you.
Lenny, you can translate what she has told in your own language.
אז דליה אמרה שהצד הראשון בפעולה בעולם החיצוני יהיה ללמוד את הסיטואציה מכל ההיבטים שלה, לחקור אותה, להתייעץ עם אנשים אחרים שנחשבים מביני עניין בנושא הזה, לאסוף את כל הידע שאתה יכול לאסוף על הנושא הזה. ואז לפעול. ולפעמים היא אומרת שיהיה מצבים שגם אחרי לימוד מעמיק של הבעיה, לא יהיה פתרון בנמצא. וזה כשלעצמו גם סוג של פתרון, זה שאין פתרון למצב. That's it.
Okay. And anybody else wants to contribute, they may contribute.
I can say something.
Oh, okay, we can.
So I think maybe you have to first, when you address the outward situation, you have to first know what is your goal, what do you want to attain, what is the aim. Many times we are facing a situation, but we are not clear about what is our goal, because maybe we are overwhelmed with the situation and confusion and everything. So one of the first things we have to do is to say, what do we want to happen? What is our goal in the outside world? And then think about the actions that we can take in order to reach that goal. Maybe it will not be immediate. Maybe it will take few steps to reach that goal. But when we have the goal in front of our eyes, then it will be easier for us to know what to do, not be overwhelmed by the emotions and all the other details. That's it.
Oh, okay. You may translate in your own language also.
Okay. אז מה שאמרתי זה כשאנחנו עומדים בסיטואציה בעייתית, אחד הדברים החשובים לעשות זה לסמן לנו את המטרה, מה אנחנו רוצים שיקרה בנוגע לבעיה הזאת. הרבה פעמים אנחנו עומדים מול בעיות ואנחנו די מבולבלים בגלל שיש הרבה רגשות שצפים והרבה פרטים שצריך לעסוק בהם. ומרוב העצים אנחנו לא רואים את היער, וזה יכול להיות יעיל עבורנו להגדיר, אוקיי, מה הייתי רוצה להשיג? ואז לבנות איזושהי אסטרטגיה, איזושהי סדרת פעולות או פעולה אחת שאמורה להוביל אותי לתוצאה הרצויה.
Okay. Anybody else wants to share their ideas?
I can share.
Okay, good morning.
Well, I can say that in a problematic situation, usually there are things that you don't know or you don't know, or that they are not in your hands. And all kinds of stuff like that, or they are overwhelming emotionally, or having a clash somehow. So I think the way I would like to behave, my guidelines will be how, first of all, not to hurt and not to get hurt. Try to find an action that is not harmful with the knowledge I have. And sometimes also we need to consider how to say
adjustments or
sometimes there are things that we cannot achieve. So we need to see the situation. There are some things I might lose, and we need to how to say, to compromise. Sometimes we need to compromise, and we need to see what's the best compromise in this case.
Compromise in how? In what way you compromise?
Well, sometimes I won't be able to achieve exactly what I want or what I think is the best, or my action will be some kind of taking a risk that I don't know what the consequences will be. So we need to take all this in account, and we need to, how to say, to make take a reasonable chance or something like that. Yeah, more or less.
Okay. Lanier, you can tell the same thing in your language.
כן. כן, אז אשרת דיברה על זה שבעצם אנחנו צריכים לשקול את הדברים, שלא תמיד אנחנו נוכל להשיג את מה שאנחנו בדיוק רוצים. לפעמים יהיו פשרות, לפעמים יהיו סיכונים, וצריך לראות את איך אנחנו פועלים בצורה שהיא הטובה ביותר בהתאם לנתונים הקיימים, שהם לא תמיד ידועים, ולא תמיד, וישנם כמובן דברים שהם לא בידיים שלנו.
Okay. That's it. Anybody else wants to share their ideas? So I try to explain my standpoint. Here, for example, presently the problem of corona is a threatening one, and everybody is trying to safeguard from corona. Sometimes they have some if you see the many people in the public, their behavior seems to be they are not afraid of corona because they are very freely, very casually they are moving. Some people, they safeguard their with some fear within their mind, and they are afraid. Some of their family members may be affected by corona, and because there is no proper medicine for the corona, we have to afraid. It is natural. And one friend of mine, he affected by corona itself, and during the corona bed he phoned. He did not say anything about corona because the afraid is over. Because when before affected by corona, he may be afraid, but if they caught corona, he is not afraid of corona. But he is normal. He is telling many things, but he is not saying anything about corona. Because he facing he is actually facing corona, so there is no problem of corona. So actually it is only a hide and seek problem. The corona is in a future as in a hidden darkness. It is threatening in the darkness. So do not know what will happen. Next. So it is a kind of fight. It is afraid of some future. So in future, what will happen? We do not know. So if you actually face corona, there is no problem. We are facing where, for example, we are walking in a problematic place where many pits and many slopes are there, and we are walking very carefully without falling within some pits or anything. We are afraid of walking, but sometimes we may fall within a pit. So after falling down in a pit, we don't want, we will not afraid of pit. So when we enter into the pit, our energy will be used only to get away from the pit. So energy will be diverted. So before falling down in the pit, we may be afraid of pits. So after falling into the pit, we will not afraid of the pits. So in this way, we do not have any clear idea about the future. So we are not afraid of the corona or anything. We are afraid of the future itself. So the main problem is that how to face the future, because it is uncertain. We do not know anything about that. So we cannot say it will be like that. We cannot simply dismiss the future. It will be like that. Even though we dismiss, in next moment it will again in some other way, it will try to disturb ourselves in some other way. So in this matter, so what we have to here all alone, we have to take some conclusion with related to the unknown future. So, but the unknown future, how the unknown future disturbs ourselves, the unknown future also threatens ourselves through our idea alone. We have some idea in a negative way. The unknown future creates some idea within ourselves in a negative way. So if you have a negative conclusion, the negative conclusion alone disturbs ourselves. The future is not disturbing directly. The future disturbs ourselves through our negative conclusion. So we have to replace the negative conclusion into some positive conclusion. So here, presently what we have to do with related to the corona. Corona is only for example. There are many situations. So for the presently, we are all facing the corona situation. So here we can take it as an example. So here, there are many people, we are having the idea of God and some superior power, supernatural power. And we may have some reliability upon the supernatural power. So that means, if you understand, if you rely upon the supernatural power or anything, naturally we will not take it as in a negative way. Supernatural power will disturb ourselves, destroy ourselves. We will not look after ourselves. Everything is okay?
கேக்குதுயா, நீ பேசலாம்.
பேசலாம். ஓகே. இடையில கொஞ்சம் டிஸ்டர்ப் ஆயிட்டு இருந்தது.
ஆமா, நெட்வொர்க் ப்ராப்ளம்.
So only because of our negative conclusion alone, everything disturbs ourselves. So through the help of some supernatural power or anything, the supernatural power, whether it may be there or not, doesn't matter. If you conclude some supernatural power is there, it's a kind of conclusion. So with conclusion, we can give power, give some energy to the supernatural power means giving energy to ourselves, giving energy to our positive idea. So anyhow, what we have to do is in our hand, but at the same time, we have to face the unnecessary negative thoughts along with the day-to-day action. Along with the physical action, we have to face the negative emotions also, negative thoughts also. So we have to face the negative thought only to positive thoughts. And there may be many, we can substantiate our standpoint. Say we have to come to some logical means or anything. So natural, instead of super, we can say nature, we are giving strength in nature itself. And more or less, we have within our mind, deeper conscious mind is also within us. The deeper conscious mind will have some tremendous power within ourselves. It may have some, we are unaware of the supernatural power, unaware of the deeper consciousness. So the deeper consciousness is our own consciousness, but at the same time, it is not within the conscious control of ourselves. So the supernatural and the deeper consciousness is also within ourselves. Actually, the mystical supernatural power is also a kind of our deeper consciousness. So the deeper consciousness is a powerful one, and we may rely upon our deeper consciousness also. And but anything, we have to come to a conclusion. It will look after everything and it will create the correct thing alone. Then only the unnecessary emotions, the unnecessary negative thoughts will be powerless. So if the unnecessary negative thoughts become powerless, then what we can do in a positive way, whatever. So we can do the necessary things alone. We can do the necessary physical things in a positive way. So then thereby we need not worry about ourselves. We need not struggle within ourselves. So we have to conclude everything will be all right, everything will be correct, and we have to conclude like this. After coming to the conclusion like this, then only we can free to do our day-to-day life. Otherwise, our unnecessary conclusion will disturb the natural and day-to-day life itself. Lanier, you may translate in your own words.
Okay, Shri Bagavath.
Okay.
אז להבנתי מה ששרי בגבת אומר פה, זה למעשה הוא נתן את הדוגמה של הקורונה, שכולנו, שמהווה איזושהי בעיה כלל עולמית כרגע ובהודו בפרט. והוא אמר שהבעיה המרכזית היא שזה לא הקורונה עצמה, אלא זה הפחד מפני הלא נודע, פחד מהעתיד. שאנחנו בעצם לא יודעים מה הולך לקרות, ואנחנו לא יכולים ככה סתם כלאחר יד להגיד יהיה ככה או יהיה ככה, כי אנחנו באמת לא יודעים. הדבר הראשון שהוא דיבר עליו זה שכשהסיטואציה באמת קורית, אז אנחנו כבר מפסיקים לפחד. למשל, שמישהו באמת נעשה חולה בקורונה, אז הוא כבר לא מפחד מהקורונה, הוא כבר בקורונה. ואז כל האנרגיה שלו הולכת לכיוון של איך אני יוצא מהמחלה הזאת. אז זה אחד. אחר כך שרי בגבד דיבר על זה שבעצם אנחנו צריכים, כדי לפעול פעולה טובה בחיים שלנו, וכדי שזה לא יפריע לחיים שלנו, אנחנו צריכים להגיע לאיזושהי מסקנה חיובית כלפי המצב. זאת אומרת ויש כל מיני דרכים להגיע למסקנה חיובית כלפי המצב. יכולים להגיד יש כוח עליון שהוא ידאג לנו, יכולים להגיד יש כוח בתוכנו שהוא מעל ומעבר והוא מדריך את הגורל של החיים שלנו. או בכל מקרה אנחנו באיזושהי דרך שמדברת על ליבנו, אנחנו צריכים להגיע לאיזושהי מסקנה שהיא חיובית. זאת אומרת שהדברים יסתדרו, שהדברים יהיו בסדר. ואז מתוך זה שיש לנו את המסקנה הזאת החיובית, אנחנו יכולים לצאת לפעולה, כשאנחנו לא, אין עלינו עומס של הרגשות השליליים, בזמן שאנחנו נגיד מחזיקים באיזושהי מסקנה קודרת כלפי מה שהולך לקרות. הולך להיות עולם דיסטופי, הולך להיות משבר גדול. כאשר זאת המסקנה שלנו, כאשר יש לנו מסקנה שהיא שלילית, אז הפעולות שלנו והחיים הרגשיים שלנו יהיו הרבה יותר קשים. אוקיי, של בגבת.
Okay.
So what is the difference between what you're saying and, let's say, positive thinking?
Positive thinking, what's the difference between positive thinking and
what you say now, what you said now?
This is also a kind of positive thinking. There is no difference. This is a positive thinking, but related to the external actions. Otherwise, if you have the negative thoughts will disturb our day-to-day actions. So anyhow, the negative thoughts also, if the negative thoughts have some message, if you take the message, and that we are dealing the negative thought in a positive way. But at the same time, sometimes we have to substitute the negative thought into positive thought. Sometimes we have to make the negative thought, make use of the negative thoughts into a positive way. Sometimes it may suggest, for example, when you moving along we have to stay in a forest, and we have to safeguard ourselves. So the threatening thoughts may be there. We can make use of the threatening thought to safeguard ourselves. In that time, you need not substitute the negative thought into positive thought. So we have to safeguard ourselves. We can make use of the negative thought. So if you have some negative thought related to the corona or anything, we have to make use of the negative thought to safeguard ourselves from the external situation. But at the same time, we have to unnecessarily disturb our peace of mind. If it is unnecessarily disturbing the peace of mind, then only we have to substitute the positive thought to safeguard our equilibrium of our mind. Then only we can deal with our day-to-day life in a good way.
For example, regarding the corona situation, some people say it's only a cover-up story in order to achieve control over the world population by means of some biological control or any other technology. And the situation, let's say in India now, like it was in Israel, the jump in the cases is parallel to the starting of the vaccine started, like when you start to vaccinate people in large amounts, the numbers of people who have positive COVID-19 is also rising. So, if you have thoughts like that, and So how do you deal with that? Because it's not thoughts that are, you can say it's negative thoughts, but it can also be what is really happening. So how to deal with that?
So this is a technical question, because we do not know whether the vaccination will increase the rate of corona disease or not. It is a technical problem, but we do not know. It may be like that, it may not be like that. So we are not sure about that. But we have to rely upon the technicians, the words of the technician. Anyhow, so in this way, so for example, whether we have to take the vaccination or not, it is we cannot come to a conclusion. Now we have to, some technician may say vaccination is a safe one. Sometimes somebody say the vaccination is the problem itself. See, so here also the happening like that. Somebody only because of the vaccination, somebody has died. So the sole reason for the otherwise he will not die. So only the vaccination medicine alone killed some persons. Happening like this. Sometimes it may increase. Some technician may say like this, but we cannot come to a conclusion. So here, so if you unnecessarily entertain a confusion within ourselves, so it may disturb our day-to-day life. So we have to keep our day-to-day life undisturbed. So for that, what kind of conclusion we have to take? For the time being, we have to wait. The way we have to keep that thinking into wait. So the technical means we are not so sure about that. But at the same time, if you come to a conclusion with related to the result, if you rely upon the result, then only the result means it's the future. With related to the future, what is our opinion? What is our conclusion? So we may have some negative conclusion. If we have some negative conclusion, it will be threatening ourselves. If we have the positive conclusion, we will be free from the threatenings. So then only we can deal with the day-to-day life. Otherwise, the day-to-day life will be also some problem. So we cannot have a peace of mind. So for that, we can shift our burden in the hands of God or in the hands of our deeper conscious mind, whatever it be. So it will look after everything, because we have no, because our conscious mind is a small mind, it is a little mind. So it has no power, it has no capacity to look into the future. But at the same time, the deeper consciousness may be powerful, and we can rely upon the deeper conscious mind. Or deeper conscious mind does not mean it is not under, it is under our control. It is not under our control, but at the same time, we may think it is a deeper conscious mind, it has more power, it can control the entire world itself, and we can rely upon that. Or either you can safely rely upon the God. God will take off everything, God will look after everything. We can put the burden upon the God, and we can deal our day-to-day life. But at the same time, we can, to the possible extent, we can safeguard ourselves.
So what you say, Shri Bagavath, is to each situation you have some conclusion. It's like, how do you interpret the situation? So you might, as you say, in this, let's take the example of the corona, you might say that that you can read the situation in one way. You say, yeah, there is a virus, it's a threat, we need to protect. Like there is this one way of thinking, and there is another way of thinking, like Lanir said. You can read the situation and you can say, no, something is wrong. There is something going on in the something is wrong. There is
Some contradiction.
Contradiction. There are some contradiction in facts, in all kinds of things, and it doesn't make any sense. And you might have the conclusion that there is something wrong going on. Maybe some harmful scam. And let's say, even if you think that, because this is your logical interpretation of the situation, it might be like this, it might be the other way. It depends how you interpret the situation. But still, you can, as you say, like you are walking in a dangerous place with many snakes. You can take this fear and to protect yourself, in a good way, to protect yourself. So I think do you try to say that even if you think that something is wrong, you still can take it in a good way, not in a harmful way that will make you stressful and not able to confront. Rather, you need to take your conclusion to how, in a good way, you can step out of this situation in a good way, regardless to what you think, to the way you interpret. Because what can you do? You see a situation and you have your own interpretation. It can be like this, it can be in another way. It depends how you see it and what's your knowledge about it, like that.
So here, if you have some clear idea about what is going on, sometimes if you are sure what you have to do, then you can follow what you are doing. There is no confusion about your doing. Then you can share, you can confident about your approach. But at the same time, if you are doubtful about what to do, then only the confusion is coming. So if you are sure about your action, then there is no problem. So only when you are confused, when you do not know what to do, then only you cannot have a correct conclusion and correct interpretation. So if you are correctly come to a conclusion, then you need not worry about it. If you are unable to come to a conclusion, then only you are having some idea like this. God will look after everything, or our deeper conscious mind will look after everything. So what is the necessary and possible thing alone that we can do? So it is only a substitute. It is not a regular thing. But regularly, if you are sure about the action and the thing, that you can go along with your way. There is no problem. Okay. Lenny, you can translate all our discussion.
אוקיי, אז אני שאלתי את שרי בגבת בנוגע לסיטואציה עם הקורונה, אז אמרתי שיש אנשים שהראייה שלהם את הקורונה היא נגיד למעשה בעניין החיסונים, שמראים שבכל המדינות שהתחילו לחסן באופן מסיבי את האוכלוסייה, כולל בהודו, רואים את הגרפים, שמיד שהתחילו לחסן, אז הגרפים של התמותה וההדבקה התחילו לעלות באופן מאוד קיצוני. או שבכלל כל הקורונה יש הרבה אנשים שאומרים שכל הקורונה היא סוג של חלק ממהלך שלם של ניסיון ליצור סדר חדש בעולם. אז התשובה של בגבת הייתה בכל מקרה, מה שאנחנו יכולים לעשות, בין אם אנחנו מחזיקים בדעה הזאת, או בין אם אנחנו מחזיקים בדעה הזאת, הנפש שלנו, האינדיבידואל, לא יכול לעשות הרבה בנושא הזה. ולכן, גם אם הראייה שלך היא כזאת או אחרת, כדי לשמור על הנפש שלך, כדי שתהיה באיזון, שתהיה שלווה, אתה צריך לאמץ איזושהי השקפה חיובית. וההשקפה החיובית יכולה לנבוע מזה, למשל, שאתה מאמין שיש כוח עליון שמשגיח ומנחה את האירועים בעולם, ושהכוח העליון הזה הוא פועל לטובה, ובסופו של דבר הכל יתהפך לטובה. או שאתה מאמין שיש בתוך עצמך כוח כזה, ושהוא יהפוך את הדברים, גם אם הם נראים כרגע שהולכים לכיוון לא טוב, יהפוך את הדברים לכיוון חיובי. בנוגע למה שאושרת אמרה, אז אולי אושרת את...
לא, זה פחות או יותר אותו דבר.
פחות או יותר אותו דבר? אוקיי. אז אני חושב שבנוגע למה שאושרת אמרה, אושרת קצת אולי חידדה את השאלה הזאת, ושרי בגבת הוסיף ואמר שכאשר הסיטואציה היא ברורה, שאתה יודע מה שאתה רואה את הדברים בצורה מסוימת, ואתה יודע מה אתה צריך לעשות ואין שום קונפליקט, אז תפעל, כמו לפי הראייה שלך. אבל כאן יותר מדובר במצבים שאתה לא יודע איך לפעול, שאתה מבולבל, שאתה לא רואה את הדברים ולא בטוח. ואז כדאי כן לאמץ איזושהי השקפה חיובית ולפעול, ומתוך זה להתחיל לפעול. That's it.
Okay. Anybody else wants to share their ideas and discussion?
Can I ask?
Okay.
We made our conclusions by our conscious mind.
Conclusions are belong to our conscious mind.
Yeah, and you said before, like, the feelings is the response of the subconscious mind.
Subconscious mind is also a kind of conscious mind. But deeper conscious mind is beyond this subconscious mind itself. So it is a deeper level, but it is not under the control of our conscious mind and subconscious mind. So it is a kind of some godly mind within ourselves.
Okay, fair enough.
Unable to hear.
How we can make the positive conclusions, or that is both in our mind, because there can be situation when our conscious mind says, yes, this situation is okay and I can solve it, but in the same time there is some kind of doubt. We can say yes, but we don't have the power to change the situation.
So conclusion is just like an idea. So it is just like a faith. For example, if you have a conclusion that God will help us, we cannot command the God. We cannot, but at the same time, we need not request God. Requesting God is also, it is not having some, it is don't have any reliability. So it has some faith. Faith means it is also a conclusion within the limit of conscious mind, even though if it is have a faith upon the God or the deeper conscious mind, that means to that extent, if you have some faith, to that extent, the conscious mind will be calm. So for that reason, so if everything is okay, we need not request, need not pray, need not have any faith, everything will be all right. So only because of the unnecessary some unpredictable situation, we can take the help of the faith. It is the faith is a kind of conclusion.
Okay, thanks very much.
Okay.
One question is this really a positive conclusion, or this is a neutral conclusion that I will accept anything that's going to happen? I'm not asking for specific results, just whatever is going to happen is going to happen.
For example, you can tell me an example.
Yeah, you know, like COVID, for example, right? You're afraid of getting sick, and a positive thinking could be, you know, God will make sure I will not be sick, or whatever. Another conclusion could be that I don't know what's going to happen. It's not in my power. Therefore, I'm accepting whatever is going to happen. You just relax your tension, because you say whatever is going to happen, you're going to accept it.
So if so in this way, we are not afraid. So there is no necessity for the faith. So we are ready to face something, then what is the necessity to have the faith? God will look after me. We need not worry about the God or anything. So if we have the strength, everything is all right.
So you say, if I have the strength to accept any result, then there is no need for faith.
No need for faith. So faith is only just like some walking stick for a layman. So if you are lame, we can use the walking stick. Otherwise, what is the use of walking stick? Layman stick.
I think the fear has relation to the tension that you need to do something, or there is something that is in your control. And the minute you accept that it's not in your control, this is what is in the tension and the fear.
So if the situation is under control, if sometimes the threatening may be useful, but at the same time, we need not violate the rules of the regulations of the public, that we cannot easily mix with other people. We have to restrict our some relationship with other people. They may some going along with many people and participating in many ways. So that means we are unnecessarily giving place for the for some contagious type. So at the same time, to that extent, make use of the fear. But at the same time, you can be bold enough to face the situation, then you need not worry about the faith.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Lanier, you can tell about the two conversation in your own language.
אז שרי בגבת דיבר עם דני על זה שבעצם האמונה, האמון שאנחנו נותנים באלוהים הוא סוג של קביים שעוזרים לנו ללכת כאשר אנחנו לא מסוגלים ללכת בכוחות עצמנו. כאשר יש לנו את היכולת לקבל כל מה שהחיים מציבים בפנינו, אז בעצם אין צורך בסוג הזה של אמון בכוח עליון. האמון בכוח עליון הוא פשוט עוזר לנו לשמור על שלווה פנימית, כאשר יש מאורעות שאנחנו לא יכולים לחזות מה הם יהיו, ואנחנו מרגישים שהם יהיו יותר מדי עבורנו, וכאשר אנחנו חוסים בצילו של הכוח העליון, אז זה מאפשר לנו איזושהי רמה של שלווה פנימית, שהדברים יהיו בסדר, כי יש מישהו, יש משהו שדואג לסדר הטוב של הדברים. That's it.
Okay, Lanir, thank you for all participating.
Thank you.
We will meet the next week. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
1 minute, sir. I request all of you open up your video so that I'll just get recorded. Almost all are there. Vicky has to come. Agam Master. Only 2 are missing so that it gets recorded for the meeting. How nice it is. Vicky has come. Shalani, can you tell Agam?
כן, האם כולם יכולים לפתוח את הוידאו שלהם, שנוכל לראות את זה?
Great. Mickey. 1 minute, Mickey.
Yes, I couldn't understand, sorry.
Yeah, your video on.
No, not yet. I tried to.
Yeah.
Here.
Anyway, it looks dark there, fine. I'll stop recording now. All faces are available now. Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.